What up? What up? What up? What up? What's
Yo,
going on?
yo, what's up, killer?
Hey, nothing much, man. We are back for another week. Welcome back, y'all. Man, it's finally us two. You know what I mean? I don't want to
Us
say
too.
finally like it's been a bad thing because I've been enjoying everybody, but it's been a while since we got to talk shop a little bit.
Absolutely. It's been a good 4 weeks?
4 weeks, man. So of course you guys been tuned in. We already know. So we just concluded the promoter series. So we had David, we had Todd, we had Josh, and we ended it off with Tanisha. So we want to send a shout out to all four of them, hoping that their show goes well this year. And also just thanking y'all for coming and talking to us for about 45 minutes.
Absolutely. It was great, man. We learned a lot from all four of them. I think each one of them brought something different to the table. So it was great to have all four of them on for sure.
Yeah, I think the most exciting thing about when we actually interview promoters or bring them on is, like we said, we get into the minds of them. And just to see that all of them had different philosophies, but the thing that was common between all four of those was like, hey, athletes are first at my show. And I love that.
Yep. Same here, man.
So
Keep the
we
athletes first, your show will thrive.
absolutely. So I'm about to say, of course, we had a pro show that happened a few weeks ago. Of course, since we had shows lined up, we really didn't get to talk about it, but run through the double down for us.
Yeah, man. So the Double Down promoted by Sully in Atlantic City, New Jersey, man. He had pro men's physique and pro bikini. And Ryan took home first place. Uh Taylor took home second place. And this is for men's physique. And third place went home to Roy. So that was a deep lineup of men's physique. And to be the first pro show of the year for men's physique, them boys brought it, so it should be interesting to see how the rest of the year goes for sure.
Nah, for
Um,
sure.
yeah, you got any feedback off of that or?
No, I like I said, I went back and watched, and Sully put on a great production there. And like I said, to see those guys, people always say the people who compete early in the year, man, there's some sacrifice going along with that. They're sacrificing any type of prep, but for those guys to be popping out late February, early March, dude, you're literally prepping through the holidays. So good job to all you guys out there.
Absolutely. So, and for pro bikini, we got Jessica Team Nonstop. She came in first. Second was Erin Meekins. She's with Team TK.
Mm.
And third place, she's a mystery. I could not get any information on third place. So sorry to whoever you are, but congratulations for your third place win.
Yeah, major congrats out there, and major congrats to especially the athletes, but also the nonstop. For you to pull two pro wins at the same show, man, you're doing it big out there. So, major shout out to Team Nonstop. So, talking about Team Nonstop, I guess that kind of segues us up into the next segment. We trying to get good at this, leaning into the next segment. We got our coaching series coming up. So, man, what are you most excited about with the coaching series, man?
Man, I think it's just so many like with the promoter series, man. Everybody bring a different viewpoint and experience to the table. So I'm excited to get some of the coaches on that we're gonna have on just to see, their viewpoints, how they coach their athletes, their expectation of their athletes,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. So I'm excited about that for sure.
Gotcha. So, but before we get into them, because we're gonna give them a whole episode to talk about themselves. We gotta brag on ourselves and talk about ourselves a little bit, because we talk about it all the time, especially at the end of our episodes. Like, hey, we are coaches, so we can give them a little bit of a lens inside of what we do as coaches, and kind of, I guess, our methodology. We'll keep it short, keep it brief, just to get you guys through cardio, as we always say. But what is the most common mistake you see with coaching or bringing in athletes?
Uh, man. So let's just start here. People have whatever their own reasons of why they want to step on stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the most common things that I see is they don't cook long enough. They're rushing the process to get on stage. They don't want to stay in the crock pot that long. So that's one of the most common mistakes that I see. And from my own personal experience from coaching, actually this just happened. Um, like me, I know you do it. You do macros with your clients.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't really know how to do macros.
Yeah.
So that's one common mistake I see within the athlete. They be like, "Oh yeah, I know how to do macros," but then
Mhm.
when it comes down to it, they really don't know what they're doing. What
Yeah.
about you? What you see on your end?
I see both of those. I think and I'll kind of speak on one of the points you spoke on is about the macros and things of that nature. I think almost everything you do as a bodybuilder is a skill set, right? I think going to the gym lifting, that's a skill set. You got to learn that skill, you got to practice that skill and get better at it. I think that's the same thing with macros. A lot of people where macros is brand new to them, you fail at it at first, but you got to keep trying, keep trying until you're really good at it. Also the whole thing of like, hey man, I want to do a show 12 weeks and you're 30 weeks out. And people not knowing that. But I think the most common mistake, and I always speak to this from when I speak about my coaching style, I speak about it from an athlete standpoint because I have a coach, right? So
Mm-hmm.
especially when you say something along the lines of not giving yourself long enough time to prep, that's real big. That's one common mistake because it's just like you got to know what stage leanness look like. But I think another common mistake is I think the athletes aren't doing enough research. And I'll be the first person to say like when I first got into bodybuilding, I didn't know anything. So I would say like not doing enough research on what your division wants, what's the criteria, what do you need? Because of course, if there's a certain level of leanness, and like I said, most people think once they start developing abs, they're ready to walk on stage. So on a positive standpoint, your coach has to have that eye for, hey, you're not lean enough or you're not stage lean enough. And then I think the second thing is, and I think I'm real big on trying to do this. I think I have failed at this in some cases, but not always, is really building that client coach relationship.
Yep.
A lot of people just look at it as, oh, he's just trying to retain somebody. Like, no, my whole thing is I want to develop a transparent relationship between each and every client where it's like, ultimately, I hope I could gain your trust. When I say eat a rice cake, you'll be like, how many, right? I want to get to that point, but I think that's what's important. And I think that's a common mistake that I see when an athlete don't trust the coach enough. So they're asking other people for advice or asking other sources. I usually want to build a relationship so close where it's like, if somebody else from the gym said, hey, he'd be like, hey, my coach ain't tell me that. We good. I don't need none of that outside information. So I think that's one of the common mistakes of not having a strong enough relationship with your clients or each client for them to fully trust and buy into the process.
You just made me think of something else. The most common mistake I see also, because like you literally just made me think of this, is having a bunch of yes men around you. Like you just said, you want to have that chemistry with your client or whoever it is, that they don't have to go ask 15 other people around them, hey man,
Right.
do I look good? Do I look good? And then they're your friends, so they're like, yeah, man, you look great.
Yeah.
Knowing dang well, no, you don't look good. So that's very important, man.
Yeah. And just to piggyback on that, and it's just a fact of the people who voices need to be the loudest on preps are the people who's been doing it the longest. Because I always come across people where, and I was the same way. Like I said, I'm speaking from my experience. I'm not even speaking about a specific client. I'm speaking about me. When I first got into bodybuilding, I had 10 to 15 people in my gym like, man, you could go get on stage right now. Man, you're ready. And then I go out there and get smacked around. You know what I mean? And it's just because most of the people who's telling you this may not have even competed. Yeah, you look good compared to the gym pop, the people that go to your gym, but then you're also going against other competitors. So that's what it's really about. So actually listening to your coaching, and like the one thing about Jeff and Marianne, they ain't gonna tell me I'm ready if I'm not ready. They gonna tell me probably the last minute. Like Jeff only tells me I start looking good on show day. So that means I got to keep working. Like up until show day, he's like, man, keep pushing it. And that's the type of motivation I need. And that kind of goes back to what I mean about building that relationship, because you have to know what motivates each and every client differently. Some of them are super self-motivated and some of them aren't. So you have to find what gets to them and how to push them over that finish line.
Absolutely. And the one thing that I do tell my clients, hey, this is a partnership. It's not a dictatorship. We are working together. So anything like you think will like, work, whatever, just throw it at me and we'll figure it out. But I'm not hey, my word is God's word. No, it's not like that. Like, because essentially we know our bodies better than anybody else, right?
Yeah.
So if you got something in mind, hey, just throw it to your coach and see what he does with it or whatnot. He or she. So
I guess that kind of leads us to, of course, we talk about common mistakes, but I don't want to just talk about like what's wrong, right? I want to talk about what's the most rewarding part of coaching for you.
Man, just that I'm making, and it may not seem big, but we are making a positive impact in people's
Mhm.
lives. People are trusting us to get them to a goal. And for me, that's the most rewarding part, man. Like I posted it not too long ago, Sunday actually, because my clients do check-ins on Sundays. And when they send me their check-ins and I see like little improvements, like that shit just makes my heart happy, man. I'm like, y'all are doing it, man. I appreciate that. So that's the most rewarding part to me is, man, just being able to have someone trust me enough to meet a particular goal that they have in mind. What about you?
Yeah, I think the most rewarding part for me, and I mean, the people who closest to me know this. Like, I will have all these ideas, all these visions, all these things that I want to do, but I'm not the executor, right? Like,
Right.
I'll have every idea. Like, hey, we should do this, we should do this, we should do this. But then I think the most rewarding part for me is the people who bring their vision to me. I then can execute it. Like, that's like my thing. Like, the people who came to me say, "Hey, I want to be a pro." Oh, I know how to execute that. I could get you there, right? So I think the most rewarding thing is accomplishing something for myself, which of course a lot of people always talk about our wins. People talk about what we have done, right? But we control that, right? We
Right.
control how hard we work. We control this. But then when somebody else brings you a vision or bring you something that they want to do, and then you're capable of like, oh no, I'll set out the plan for you from start A to the finish line, and we're gonna make it happen. So I think that's the most rewarding part because it's like, oh, you're bringing this into something that's in my bag. I can handle this. I
Mhm.
could do this. And then it's almost like I tell each and every guy, it's like, hey, once you give me a goal, it's no longer yours. It's ours. So we're gonna make it
Right.
happen. So once I take on that goal, I almost take it personal. Like, hey, this is what we got. This is where we're going. This is what we need to happen, and let's do it.
Nah, for real. All right. So we got the common mistakes, we got the rewards.
Uh huh.
Now let's get into it.
Uh
So I know your coach is Jeff and Marianne, and of course my
oh.
coach is Carlos from Pinpoint.
Hmm.
What drew you to your coach? What made you say, "Hey, I want to go with y'all. I want to put my bodybuilding career in y'all hands"?
So the thing that drew me most of them, and it's funny because we have interviewed both of our coaches before. So the thing that drew me to them was it was a lot of things, right? The first thing was Marianne actually judged when I went pro. That had nothing to do why I hired them, but um, Jeff was walking backstage. And if people know my coach, Jeff Cook, if you don't know him, you should follow him. But he's one of those guys who's just a fan of bodybuilding. Like his history and knowledge of bodybuilding is just way beyond a lot of people that I've been around. So it almost makes me want to study it and got me into like actually looking up different things. Like having a conversation about bodybuilding with him is just like can be 30 minutes or it can be 3 hours. It just really depends. So after I was actually with a coach at my very first show, but Jeff is one of those guys who usually walk around shows and just helps anybody. He sees an amateur backstage that look flustered. Hey, what do you need? Like, what's going on with you? Calming people down, talking to people. So then I think when I had a chance to like work out with him, it was more so of us getting to know each other. We worked out, and he was just dropping knowledge of like, hey, execute this way or do something this way. And his attention to detail was before he was even my coach. It was just us working out.
Mhm.
So then when I was finally able to like, I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna make the decision. I'm gonna go to them for coaching. Um, they like I did my research because I was with two other coaches before him. I did no research, so no research about anything. I just saw that when somebody had coach in their bio, and I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna hire this person, or I'm gonna hire this person because they were IFBB pro and things of that nature." So when I went to them, the first thing I looked at was their clients. Like, what do their clients look like? And at that time, they had, I mean, they still do. They have a reputation for bringing people in shape. So what was my feedback from all my shows? You need to come in more condition. You need to come in shape. All right. So that fits the mold. Let me go here. But then when I got with them, it was one of those things where I was able to ask questions. They were able to educate me through the process. They were able to push me. He knew what made me tick. Like after a while, it was just like, all right, this is where I'm supposed to be. So I think the things that draw me to him was one, his willingness to help when he didn't know who I was. Because that just shows me who you are as a person.
Mhm.
Two was their knowledge of bodybuilding. I had talks with Mary and I had talks with Jeff, their knowledge of bodybuilding, and I actually had to interview with them. Like, oh, these are real, genuinely good people. And then, like I said, after I did that workout with them, I was just like, oh yeah, this is going to be the max right here. So after that, those were the credentials I needed. I needed to see your track history, your track record of who you're putting on stage, how you're putting them on stage, and what they're saying about you. And then I have to see that you're actually passionate about the sport. Like you're not just hopping in the sport and like, oh, this is just something I'm doing just, for fun or as extra income.
Okay.
I was pretty long winded, but I'm passionate, So what about you?
Man. So the first few years I started off, I didn't have a coach. I didn't know a coach for bodybuilding was even a thing.
Mm-hmm.
2022 is when I actually got with my coach, and we met through a mutual friend. It was at Florida Pro. He was actually coaching James Crowder at that point in time, and I had went off. I did have a coach, and I went about it wrong picking that coach. I seen how one of his athletes looked,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought I could get that same result. But when I worked with them, it wasn't what I envisioned.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I met Los Carlos or whatever, and I was at Florida Pro alone, and he was with James, and I just seen the way he was being so attentive to his athlete James at the time. I was like, yo, like I could actually, use something like that because it was just so flawless. Like James wasn't doing any of the thinking. Los was doing all the thinking. James was just executing. So I'm like, yo, like I can really use this to take, my physique to the next level. So that's when me and Lo start working together. And just the attention to detail, like you said, that he was giving James. And man, he had his laptop open. He was putting in notes and stuff. And I was like, yo, like I want to see what this is about. And as you know, and many other people know, we end up winning 2 Jordans together
Mm-hmm.
and a hella other freaking pro shows together. So I mean, I'm happy that I did come across him and meet him, but that's why I chose, Carlos, because like I said, it was just the attention to detail, and like his knowledge was just crazy out of this world. So
Yeah. And I think that's the one thing that a lot of people don't understand about coaching. Or I know there's so many people, self coach and they do very good jobs at being
right.
self coach. So I'm not saying you can't self coach yourself. But the one thing that I think truly separates, good coaches from great coaches is the attention to detail. When you see somebody constantly looking at their athlete or constantly paying attention or, um, like you said, just the little things, the little finite details of what a coach do. It's almost like most of us played sports in high school or at a different level, maybe college even. But your coach always tells you one word before a meet, before a game. Hey, go execute. Because
Yep.
the thing is, all the thinking is done. I trained you this whole week. I got you ready. I did everything. All you got to do is execute. And that's the one thing I hope that my athletes always say about me. Like on show day, hopefully they're the most calm person backstage. Hopefully they're the people just like, hey, like the number one thing I always tell my athletes is right before they step on stage, hey, I did everything I could do. It's time for you to go execute. And if I truly feel that way, like I have no pressure on me up until award time. Then award time come around, then I got some pressure. But like if I know I did everything I could do and we fist bump and they give me that look like, hey, I'm ready. Hey, that's the best feeling in the world for me.
Nah, I feel that. Definitely feel that, man. And I think just being a coach in general, like it's rewarding, and sometimes it can't be so rewarding because, like you said, like you want the best for your athletes, and if they don't get the placement that they wanted, then you feel like you let them down. So
Yeah. I think that's also comes with one is just like I think we all show up to win. We all want our athletes to win. Um, and I think even when I go to shows, it's almost like, hey, unfortunately, we did everything that's within our control.
mhm.
Once they step on stage, like I say this saying every time, we don't even control when we quarter turn on stage. So we definitely can't control the outcome of what happens when we get on stage. So I think the hardest thing, and I actually talked about this on another podcast, is like when you're coaching I think when we compete, we're like, all right, we know how we're going to react if something happens that don't go our way. Like we can control that. However way we want to take it, we can control it in a good way or we can control it in a bad way. I think for an athlete, like I said, depending on the athlete and depending on how well you know them, how long they've been doing this, you know, they may take it as like, oh, I failed, or my coach failed me, or I failed them, or whatever. So I always make sure I leave that into the athletes. Like, no matter what happened, you never failed me if you follow that plan. Like, if we did everything we could, you didn't fail me. Like, at the end of the day, we don't control the outcome. Like I said, we just show up our best. And if we showed up our best and somebody's just better that day, that's just what it is.
Yeah. Can't argue with that, man.
So we talked about that. Oh yeah, we're gonna drop the pin. So hey y'all, if y'all looking for coaches, I know we're both looking for a few more athletes. I ain't gonna tell you how many slots I got. I just want all y'all to reach out. But if you're looking for a coach, we're gonna have some wonderful coaches coming up in the next few weeks. But we are also accepting clients, so you can always find me at E_Shell10 or on the Eagle is Strength page. And of course, you can find my guy at Carolina Muscle. And you'll be able to, you know, maybe schedule a consult, see what we're talking about, and see if you're trying to work. But we do have a lineup coming up, man. We have a lineup of shows coming up, and things are heating up. So our first show that we're going to talk about will be the Captain's Cup, of course, hosted by Marcus Harris and his lovely wife, Brittany, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Brittany and Marcus Harris will be hosting that show. So that will be a pro men's physique and I think pro wellness show, if I'm not mistaken. Okay.
This weekend, this Saturday.
Yes. So if you haven't signed up, I don't know if it's too late, but still head over to that link. You still probably will have maybe a couple of days. Maybe they're closing registration. I don't know. It is Tuesday. But I know that lineup is stacked with some heavy hitters. I know of a few. We don't have to put them out there, but I know that lineup will be stacked. I will be tuning into that live stream this weekend for sure, just because I know that there will be some heavy hitters on that stage.
Yes, like you said, we ain't going to give no names, but I'm already predicting my top three. It's going to be a good one, man. So this is actually going to be the second heavy pro men's physique show because Sully had one at Double Down.
Yeah.
Mark is about to have one. It's going to be heavy, man, and it's going to be a good show. So make sure y'all tune in to the Captain's Cup this weekend. Go get the live stream. His live stream guy's phenomenal. All different angles. You got cameras following you around. He got commentary. I don't know who he replaced us with, but nobody can do it better than me and you. But that's a different story. But yeah, live commentary and everything.
So if the Arnold link crashed last weekend, we need the Captain's Cup link to crash this weekend. We need 1,000 people on the live stream. Let's go. So coming up next after that, we have, of course, a great friend of ours, Nam Lee, will be hosting the Coastal Clash in Hilton Head,
in the
South
low
Carolina.
Country.
Yeah. So if you guys have not signed up for a show, that is always a wonderful show to do. It is in the beautiful city of Hilton Head, so you always will have something to do right after the show. And the weather is nice down here in the South. That's all I gotta say. It was 80 degrees today. The weather is nice, so go hit the beach after you finish the show. Go take some pictures. And lastly, but not least, another heavy hitter pro show. We got the Immortal Muscle in Beaufort, Georgia, hosted by Jackie and Magna McCrae. They will be. This show grows every year. I think I've been to it for the past 3 to 4 years. It has grown. They give wonderful, wonderful, wonderful trophies. I think last year they had this crazy sword thing or hammer thing, and I wanted it, but I wasn't in shape. I was still chubby, so I couldn't do it. But these are all 3 magnificent shows. So if you're looking for a show, amateur or pro, these are pro-ams. I would definitely say you should sign up for these shows because they're coming up quick and fast.
Absolutely. And we do not speak on shows or promote shows that we don't stand behind. We personally know all these promoters and they are good people. So if you're looking for a good show, a good time, it's probably too late for Captain's Cup, but you still got the Coastal Clash and the Beaufort show. So hey, sign up while you can, man.
Yeah,
Go go support good people.
we'll definitely be dropping more shows throughout the year. Of course, from a lot of different organizations. Also, here in the OCB, we'll be dropping a lot of different shows. So make sure you guys stay ahead of schedule because, like I said, I gotta catch up. But we're gonna head
So
over
with
to our
that,
top five.
yeah, I was about to say, usually you come up with the top five, but today, since we just dropped three amazing shows,
Uh huh.
let's do top five on shows you're looking forward to this year.
Gotcha. And we're not including those, right?
Yeah, nope.
Let me think of three more. Now let me stop. All right. Top five shows that we're looking forward to. We'll go back and forth. Um, I think one for me would be No Gear Classic, and I think I look forward to this show every year. Just because one, I won it back in 2021, so a long time ago. But I think every year I try to make like a statement at this show. Not necessarily myself, but even like team or whatever, I always try to take people to this show. And I think that show I will have a heavy presence there with my team. So not necessarily me, my team will have a heavy presence there. So looking to try to steal that one and bring it back home with me. Cause I know, and this is not being negative. I love the guys, but hey, nonstop, that trophy guys stay here in North Carolina. Right? That's all I gotta say. It's just competitive, man. I love it. I love when Rare Breed bring guys. I love when nonstop bring guys down here. But I want that one's a little personal. I want that one to stay here.
All right, my first show, I would have to say Florida Pro. I won that show before, and unfortunately, it's their last year promoting that
Mm.
show. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to go out. I know he's getting new awards and everything for the show. Daryl and Holly are good people, so I just hope that people come out and support that show for the last year. So that's one show that I'm looking forward to.
That was going to be my second one. Okay. Oh man. All right. So I think my next one will be. I'm trying to think of all the shows that I may attend. I think another show for me is. I think I got to throw the Yorton out there. I got to throw the Yorton out there just because I know I have a couple guys that's trying to qualify early for it. So it's
Right.
an exciting year for that. I think last year I took one. So the most people I ever took to the Yorton was one other person. I did that twice. So I think I got more people that want to qualify for the Yorton this year. So with that being said, I want to take I'm going to say the Yorton just because I feel like I'm going to have a decent squad this year.
Okay. I would have to go with Mr. America. I did the show last year. It was my first time stepping on that stage. You hear so many things about different shows and stuff, but you truly don't know until you step on that stage. So I had fun at it last year, and I'm just looking forward to what Mark's going to do with Mr. America this year. So that'll be my second one.
I got a sneak attack one. That's actually coming up fairly quickly. I have a recent client who will be doing the Southeast Natural Championships, the NPC one, in
Okay.
Fayetteville, North Carolina. And of course, it's the hometown. So I always like going down there, even like when I go down there for Jackie and Magnum, I get to stay with the fam. But I get to see bodybuilding. And like I said, I always wanted to experience one of these natural NPC shows. I told myself I was being a hypocrite more so speaking about something I never attended or been at. So therefore I won't speak about it until I actually see one and then actually be in the essence of it. So let's put it that way.
All right. My third one would have to be the NGA Universe this year. And that's because me and Josh are good friends, and he's actually taken over that show from Andy and Fran. I think Andy is like 100, 101 year. He's up there, and just looking forward to see what Josh is going to do with the NGA Universe because he puts on the Kentucky Classic or whatnot, and that's always a good show. So just seeing that show transfer hands and seeing what Josh is going to do with it. So that's another show that I'm looking forward to seeing.
Okay, so I have what, two more?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like when we try to list 10 shows, there's probably 20 we could talk about. But I think another one that I'm looking forward to will be the I'm gonna say the Richmond Championship at the end of the year. And the reason
Okay.
I'm saying that is because one, it is a new Mel's Pro show for men's physique. And that show always fall like either the week of my birthday or the week after my birthday. So I'm never in shape for my birthday. So I'm gonna see if I'm in shape for my birthday, I might pull up to that one.
Okay.
So
Um, my fourth one. It's another goodbye show. Unfortunately, is Tanisia's show in
mhm.
Colorado. We had Tanisha on, and she's a great promoter. And I just know that show is going to be filled of so many emotions. It's going to be good. It's going to be sad, but that's another show that I'm looking forward to seeing, just because I know she's going to put on a hell of a show on her way out the door.
All right. And I think last but not least, man, what show am I looking forward to? I had one. I had one. I'm actually gonna say which one was it? Oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna actually say the Conqueror, but not the first one, the new one. The
Okay.
new one, the one that's going to be in Vegas. I think that's a Mills Pro show. I think that's a Super Pro show. So I think they have like almost all the categories, if I'm not mistaken. I could be
July
wrong.
18th.
Yeah, I think they have like men and women's, like I think almost every category there. So that's very similar to the one that Yvette throws in Arizona, where she has a lot of male categories and a lot of female categories. So I'm excited to see the expansion, especially into Las Vegas. But the expansion of the Conqueror, because we already know what the Conqueror looks like in Maryland. It's one of the biggest shows in the OCB, and that's women's pro only. So I want to see what can do in Las Vegas.
Yep. I actually got a client competing at that show. So,
Are you going to Vegas? You gonna be on those slot machines? Hey, bro, you might get go slide the slots. Hey, you make your money back. Go ahead.
oh, man. Um, Last show that I'm looking forward to, it's a new show, and
Okay.
it's a pro show. It's a new organization. People are probably not familiar with it, but I think it's called the WBFF.
Okay.
It's a new organization, but they're having a pro show in Daytona, Florida in August.
Mm.
So I actually, someone reached out to me from that organization or whatnot, and it is a pro show. So I hopefully they get some steam rolling for that show, and people come out and support that show as well. So
Okay. Okay. So that is our top five. So if you are looking for, leave us some comment. Let us know what shows you are looking forward to, or I mean, let us know what shows you are doing this year. We would love to see follow you guys to the stage, especially if it's one of these bigger pro shows. We want to see, keep watching out there what you guys are doing. I know one of our listeners, Trey, he's actually going to be at Captain's Cup. I know I'm going to go ahead and say his name. He listens to every episode, but we know he's going to be at the Captain's Cup. So major shout out to him. Good luck with you this weekend.
Trey said
Um,
he a dog now.
hey,
Hey,
he came out
you
barking.
better go out there and do that thing. You better not get dog walk, Trey, because if you get dog walk, next episode we're going to have to talk. Now I'm playing, bro. Hey, good luck though, for real.
Yeah, good luck, Trey. Because like I said, we know you watch these episodes faithfully. So just want to give you a
Yeah.
shout out and good luck. But yeah, drop your shows in the comments if you guys are announcing. It's been a quiet year. Nobody really announced. I think even at Double Down, when I saw certain people on stage, I was like, whoa, like I didn't know you was doing this show. Like, what's going on? So it's been a quiet year, but I want to see, who's popping out. I think only a few people been talking, but like we said, we're gonna keep those on the quiet for what's going on at Captain's Cup. But what we got? We got anything else, brother?
Nah, man. If y'all know some coaches, and listen, when I say this, I'm not trying to. We already interviewed all the big coaches, known big coaches for the OCB. We already interviewed Nonstop David. We already interviewed Mikey. So if y'all know any other coaches that don't get the recognition that they deserve or whatnot, or y'all just want to hear them talk, shoot us a DM on the Let's Talk About It IG. Send us their profile or whatnot, and we'll reach out to them and see if they want to hop on for the coaches series.
Gotcha. So yeah, we have a few lined up. So I think we're probably only trying to fill about 2 to 3 slots. To be honest, we have a few already lined up that we'll start interviewing real soon. So but if you have a coach that you'd be like, hey, this person is amazing, you guys really need to talk to this person. Send them our way. Let us, like I said, we'll love to have them on. And if we don't interview them this year, then we'll love to just establish a contact and potentially meet them at a show and potentially get them on for next year. So we really appreciate you guys for listening. But this was Let's Talk About It. If you got 40 minutes of cardio, we sorry we left you hanging for the last 4. But until next time, peace.
Peace.